Welcome to episode 21 of What If Civilization Started Over. Last time we saw the beginning and the end of the Third Great War, and the world is looking different now. Especially here in Eastern Africa, where Rosewood is now a new country together with Night Blue, and our old Dark Blue is still alive, but is quite smaller. We have the expansion of Red, Blue that expanded, and Brown that got expanded a little bit as well, with Magenta in Africa. But let's see how these three countries are doing now, after that they not really expanded that much. We have Dark Yellow that expanded their borders a little bit to mid-Africa, and they really want to be an empire that will be like this big. They want to go more up north. And together with Dark Orange they are expanding evenly, because Dark Orange will also expand like this. But Dark Green is the one that expands the most out of all these countries. And we see their size double. And now Africa is beginning to be much bigger. Beige expands here in the south against Lavender, and also here up north around this lake. And they have an idea to expand more towards Dark Blue to border them if there's ever an attack on Lavender by the Dark Blues. Because Beige really wants, well, to unite with this part of Lavender. The governor really is a part of this, and they really want to expand the southern of Africa more than what there is now, because they know there is much more land to the south that's undiscovered. Dark Blue, of course, had to, well, leave a lot of land alone to Rosewood and Dark Blue, well, Night Blue I mean. So they want to expand here in the eastern mid-Africa too. They claim these 4 pockets as their own territory. And at last, Lavender will go around Beige, cutting them off from the sea. And that's something they try to do. Beige wants to access to the sea, so they have an arrangement done. The king of Beige goes to the governor of this part of Lavender. And now that we have something to talk about a king, let's show you guys what I've added. A political ideology layer. Here we have a crown resembling, well, a king. And 2, well, sort of stick figures that sort of say Lavender is owned by multiple governors in this case. We have, of course, here the leader, another leader here for this island, and another leader here. And Lavender and Slate are doing the same. So Lavender allows a part that Beige can access the ocean right here. So this part, this is a straight line that they can have, plus this little part that they can access the sea, because they want to trade via the sea. And now that I'm talking about trade, and now I can let you all see the last layer I added, the trade routes. And I have ocean trade routes with like dotted lines, dark blue dotted lines. And I have black lines going through Europe and like the parts. You see that, for example, Orange has only one trade route through their country that, well, goes through Brown. When they were a puppet state, they didn't have any trade routes in their country other than from Brown into Orange. Same over here. So this is also something that we can use in the future episodes. Conveniently, Lavender's not really expanding or like searching stuff in the sea, but Beige wants to, well, sail across. They want to find the new mainland of Lavender. So they sail and they go like this, but they stumble across this tip of Madagascar. So they land right here and they claim it. This is the first time someone finds Madagascar, and Beige tries to, well, colonize it as well. They wanted to have this. Now they find new land. They think there's much more land over here, but there's not. It's an island, and they quickly get that information while venturing alongside the coast. The news spreads, and Lavender now knows about Madagascar, so they too sail across the ocean and see this island, so they take it and land their boats right here. So also they will try and colonize Madagascar. But this news doesn't really stay with beige and lavender, because dark blue is spying inside lavender and they too know about this island now. And they also want a part of it, because they lost a lot of land here up north, so why not go to the south if we can? So they too land right here. 2 boats actually, 2 group of boats. So they too make contact and try to colonize this land. Eventually they get in contact with the lavender people right here. And lavender, the people of lavender are really, well, amazed by how does dark blue knows this as well. Slowly they link up as well with beige, and they both are like, why does dark blue knows about this island now? Why dark blue knew this? Nobody really knew, other than that they came across the information that there was a spy inside lavender. But the spy was never identified. So there was a race. Quickly, everybody wanted to rule over this newfound island. Beige was quickly to cut everyone off from the north, and they gain more land into the south as well. Dark blue was following them, and they were first to reach this part of the sea, so beige was cut off. They couldn't get more land. So blue was quickly to cut lavender off from getting more land up in the north. But beige wasn't stupid. They got on their boats and they sailed along the coast, and eventually got on the coast again a little bit more south, but also a part got even more south to get more land out of this. Lavender did their tactic again to go just immediately into the wilderness and gain some land out of this journey. Oh boy, this was looking uglier every minute. The southern part of beige on Madagascar wanted to go south even more, but suddenly they came across camps, and they were not again the only one here. These 3 were not alone. Dark green got their hands on a little bit of Madagascar as well. How? Well, they sailed all around Africa and they came across Madagascar. They are the first to try and sail around Africa, so they now know that there is a way to get to lavender, because they know this exists, this triangle, because everybody knows. So they wanted to go and find lavender themselves, because there's still a small group that is not really working for dark blue and purple, that want to try to attack lavender when the time is right. So they were trying to find lavender themselves, but they, well, failed, but succeeded. So beige really wanted to get more land here as well, next to dark green, but dark green was fast. And they met up with lavender, and lavender was now like, are there 4 groups in total on this island? Lavender did not really know how large this island was. They maybe thought it was going farther south than it actually is going. And for how longer this took, the land became harder to, well, get. Because everybody was fighting, well, not literally fighting, but it was a race to gain as much land as they can. Dark blue was cut off now by the rest, so it was just dark green and beige. But oh boy, they wish it was only dark green and beige left with lavender, because Slate also found out about Madagascar. They even owned these islands right here. Slate wanted to expand their, well, empire almost, now more across the world. They knew lavender had a part, well, piece of, well, what's called this continent, so they were trying to find it. Conveniently, they did find something, and lavender was there, indeed, but it was an island already, well, getting captured and claimed by 4 other groups. And Slate got the rest of the coast and cut off beige from further exploration here in the north. This is the first time lavender got to know about another country that, well, indirectly originated from them. And slowly, the island was fully claimed by the rest of all the groups. And yeah, it was kinda ugly. And the groups, all the 5 groups, were not happy how it turned out. Beige was especially not happy because they found it first and Lavender got to know it. And because of that, well, they think Blue got to know it. And because of that, well, maybe even Dark Green got to know it, but it was sort of a coincidence. And Slade also was here in a coincidence. So, yeah, they were trying to get an alt. Well, all the 5 groups wanted to get this island for themselves. But no one, well, had the courage enough, the great courage to maybe attack even one of the groups. But one group, one country, had lost enough land in the past that they wanted to get more. And it was none other than Dark Blue. Dark Blue was the first to attack Beige up in the north to capture as much land as they wanted. There were, well, actually none settlements here, just camps that were set up so they could claim as much land as they wanted. 2 sides were getting attacked and overrun by some troops from the Dark Blue team. They even sent troops from the mainland that eventually landed on the north. And Beige wanted to get help from Lavender. And yes, they did get help by Lavender. For the first time since many years, Lavender was going to attack another country from the Western world. Blue quickly lost land in the south because, well, no one was actually maintaining it that much. So together with Beige, they got a great portion back. Well, and even just more than they had before. But Blue brought many troops, and they really wanted them gone. And this news spread really quickly to the King of Dark Blue. And luckily, they were really on the corner of the Purple King. So they had an arrangement right here in this settlement. And the arrangement was done. The attack was going to start. Purple and Mint were now going to attack mainland Lavender because the war has started with Lavender. Mint, Purple, Dark Blue against Lavender. And sadly Beige as well. As Dark Green got the knowledge a few weeks later, they too were going to attack Beige in the south because they, well, betrayed their own country, Dark Green, because Beige is originally Dark Green. So they were going to pay them back and attack them in the south. Slade eventually knew about the war on the island. And they were, well, going to get really greedy. And they were just getting to take some lands for themselves as well. The war has started. The war has started. Lavender got the knowledge that Slade was attacking them as well, Beige. So they were going to attack both parties. But it was getting really hard to attack everyone that was on this island. They also tried to attack Dark Green here on the island. But that was hard to manage because they also were attacked by Dark Green forces. And after many years, Purple finally opened the front and took immediately 2 settlements from Lavender. They did not saw this coming at all, and they were even late at noticing it. And Mint got a part of the front as well, so they could attack Lavender too. And it was the second time that Lavender got attacked by Mint. Their settlement in the west was also getting attacked. And really quickly it was overrun and claimed and captured by the Purple team. And even another landing, because they crossed this sea, happened and the front got wider and wider. And Dark Blue too now attacked Lavender here in Africa as well, as they now opened the war completely fully against Lavender. Here in the south in Indonesia, Mint got also here, this governor also got the knowledge that they were finally attacking Lavender So they were going to sweep across this land, this island, to take all of the settlements. And they were quick this time around. They quickly went to this settlement and captured it. And their front got to the whole border itself. This island was captured because this island was also going to attack from the side. And this settlement was also captured by Mint. Because of the recent split with Mint and Slate, this governor still liked Slate a little bit, and well, Slate as well liked the southern part of Mint more than the northern part, so they really wanted to help the south governor from Mint a little bit too, so they sent some forces to help. But they also attacked Lavender itself in Madagascar, and they really got far. Their front thickened really much. Beige fought back in the south, but they too lost land in the south, and they lost land big time, as Dark Green was really attacking Beige, up until the point that they lost every original part, what they originally claimed. And slowly but surely, Dark Green killed all the troops of Beige in the south, and their front was going to be thicker and thicker. Slate and Dark Green left each other alone, as they quickly realized, Slate, what the war was actually all about. Dark Blue, Purple, and Mint against Lavender, and Slate was helping, well, all the three countries to attack Lavender. Dark Green operated sort of on their own, but of course helped Dark Blue too, because they knew the plan all those years ago, when sadly Beige formed their own country to be friends with Lavender. Lavender, on the other hand, did not leave Dark Green alone, and their front quickly was gone in their favor. But the Dark Blue forces were strong, and they killed every part of Beige, like that it was even nothing, and they killed them all until they found Slate's troops. They did not attack at first, but they were like in a line, like in a front, and well, were wondering if they belonged to Lavender. But they quickly came across the knowledge that Slate did not help Lavender. They helped, well, to get rid of Beige. But they were not going to attack each other, Slate, Dark Green, and Dark Blue. Their operation of Beige was a nice idea, and lucky that they found this island first. But Dark Blue was just too strong. Remember, they are not really that strong anymore compared to other countries in Europe, but Beige is just too weak compared to Dark Blue. So the front got so small, and Dark Blue was so hard at fighting that their front got smaller and smaller, and then they just surrendered. Beige opted out of this war and just left this island. But Lavender did not stop yet. They attacked the blue forces massively, and their tactic, their technology still was a little bit different. They killed even all the Dark Blue troops that lined up with the Slate ones, and then Slate overrun the Lavender troops. It was really going back and forth every other time. Lavender was so focusing on Dark Blue that they lost their whole front with Dark Green. But luckily they did. Eventually whole Europe got to know about this little war on an island. And oh boy, one country was going to join it. It really was desperate for new land, and was preparing for new war again. But before that happened, Dark Green killed a lot of Lavender troops, and they even dared to land on the other side of the ocean and take a little bit of land from them in the south as well. As there were not really many people in the south here, they really quickly got all of the land and claimed it for their own. Beige was here as well. No one attacked them here, so they just swept across it, and they got even more land until they finally found some, well, parts where Lavender actually lived. So the attack was started again on mainland Africa. Slowly but surely, boats from an unknown country were sailing alongside Africa, and they were the second country to ever do that, besides Dark Green now. And their boats finally sailed far enough to finally land their boat right here on this coast. And when Dark Green actually knew what was happening, they were too late. Red forces already arrived.